Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back. And first and foremost, please excuse my voice. I just caught a little bug starting last night, but I didn't want to go any longer without making any videos, especially since I just got my internet back up about, what was it, about 3 days or so ago, maybe 4. And especially since it's been so long. It's been almost 3 weeks, and plus we have the hurricane and stuff like that, so which is pretty much what this video is going to be about for the most part. And the gameplay you're going to be watching here is a nice little TDM on Black Ops 2, and then a nice little free-for-all on Black Ops 3, so you guys are getting quite the COD dose tonight, and I will be streaming a little bit later, but more about that a little bit later. But yeah, let's get right into this. Hello, I hope you guys have been doing okay, and yes, I just, it's so funny how sometimes life just throws things your way, and when it does, it just happens to be like, could just be a whole bunch of things happening around the same time period. But hey, that's life sometimes. And like I said, this hurricane here, literally just got through Hurricane Irma, and we were lucky, just like the thumbnail says, or just like, I mean, seriously, myself and my state, for the most part, except for the very south of Florida, for the most part the rest of us were extremely lucky, because if this thing were to hit us as a category 4 or a category 5 and went up the state, and not weaken until it hit our area, it would have been absolutely devastating. Not just, I mean, it would have been absolutely devastating for the entire state. And then yet there's people out there that still don't believe in climate change, or whatever you want to call it. And if you look at the size of Hurricane Irma in comparison to Hurricane Andrew, which was a huge storm that hit about 25 years ago in 1992 here in Florida, and the name has been retired, especially since it's such a devastating storm for the state or whatnot. And you look at the size comparison between Irma and Andrew, it's absolutely insane. Irma was more than twice the size of Andrew and could have caused a hell of a lot more damage. And yes, I did end up evacuating, even though I didn't have to. I live in the Tampa Bay area, but I live in an area where I didn't really have to evacuate, because flooding was not to, I didn't have to worry about flooding even in the area where I live in. But once they started talking about the possibility of tornadoes, that's where I basically said, screw it, better safe than sorry. So the next thing you know, I'm moving out of there, and I basically went to my, went to my middle school, which was actually really a unique experience. It was, stayed there for about a day and a half or whatnot. At the last minute before it hit, we got word that it basically weakened down to a category 1, which, again, thank God. Whew. Because there are a lot of people out there from this storm, not just in South Florida, but other places that got hit really, really hard, and basically their whole entire town was basically leveled, and people have lost homes. I've even read on the news about how there was a family that lost, they've been through this like 2 times before, and this was their 3rd time, and they had to start over for like the 3rd time. And when you hear stories like that, you just can't help but feel for them. It's like, my goodness, it's something that nobody really should have to go through. And if you do, it should only be like a one-time experience. But sometimes, I mean, it just, you can't, this goes to show you can't really control Mother Nature. No matter how far we've come technology-wise, we just really can't control it. We're not in control. And we've come a long way, but still, it's out of our hands at this point. So if any of you guys ever find yourself in a situation to where there's a big devastating disaster coming your way, and if you're debating on whether or not you should even evacuate or get the hell out of the way, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Worst case scenario, or best case scenario is that you're gone for like a day or 2, and you're just out of power for a short period of time, and less than a week later, life continues on as usual, rather than just taking the risk and just sticking around, which is something that I definitely would not advise. And this thing originally wasn't even supposed to hit us until it was a category. We were supposed to get like category 3 force, which is insane, at least for a couple of hours before it died down to a 2 before it hit my area. But that didn't happen. We were lucky. It decided to weaken at the last minute, thank God. And these are just the kind of things that you just don't want to play with. You know, safety first above all else. You got to make sure you, your loved ones, and everybody's safe. But you know, with this overall experience, even though it was a first for me for evacuating or whatnot, I learned new things. It's you constantly hear about other people's stories. You hear about the difference between a category 1, category 2, and category 3. Once you basically, long story short, like this is the big thing. Okay, once you get into category 3 territory, that is when it is absolutely serious. It's like category 1, you'll have a certain amount of damage, and then category 2, it'll double. But then once you get to category 3, it'll the amount of damage, the numbers will go up like crazy. Like the amount of damage that it could do once you get to category 3, 4, and 5, it goes from like, you know, it goes from category, I think I've read from category 2 to category 3, it's like 10 times as much damage. And then from category 3 to category 4, it could be up to like, what, 25 times, and then 50 for category 5. These numbers are no joke. So definitely not worth risking your life over. And it's something that a lot of people talk about, and they're absolutely right. And definitely got through to me, especially since you know, I don't know where you guys are from, but down here we really don't get any tornadoes, and if we do, they don't touch down for a long time. But if it's from a hurricane or whatnot that can inspire tornadoes, it's like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't know. I don't care. I'll leave. There's nothing I can do pretty much if a tornado comes in. Hurricane, you got plenty of time. You know, you got all sorts of time to prepare and all these other things, but man, with a tornado, no. So with this experience overall, myself and other people that I know that live in my area were extremely, extremely lucky. And you know, it's basically a wake up call. It's a wake up call. It absolutely sucks, but it's a wake up call. And the thing is, you just never underestimate Mother Nature. And you know what? There's always the big moral lesson to be learned here is the fact that, you know what? I think everybody has another reason to. I mean, everybody's been reminded again that they have plenty of reasons to be happy, even though they may be bored or even though they're not, you know, fulfilled at this point in time or whatnot. There's plenty of reason to be happy, and to have the things that you have. You know, even if it's the bare minimum, hey, you should be happy, because things like that, they can go, and they can, you know, the next thing you know, they could be gone, and, you know, all the stuff that you've taken for granted are no longer there, and that will sting more than, you know, than boredom or anything like of that nature ever could, because it's, you know, because when you're talking about losing your home or losing your car because a tree fell on it or something like that, that absolutely sucks. And if you're struggling financially, it's absolutely devastating. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, are having, you know, a lot of people, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So when you're talking, you know, a big disaster like this hitting your town, and all of a sudden, you know, you don't have a place to live, and you went from at least having a place to live or whatnot, or maybe the hurricane will even hit your job, and all of a sudden, bam, you don't have a place to work. It's like, you know, everything can happen at once. So I think everybody could be a little bit more humble overall, and just be thankful for what they have. And that's one of the biggest things that I got coming away from this, because, you know, when you don't have something basic like, let's say, electricity, or let's say you're not even able to stay in your own home, you know, and you're looking at these other people in the shelter, and we're all sleeping pretty much on the floor or on sleeping bags or on mattresses or something like that, you know, and when just a few days prior, you were at home chilling, you know, you had the internet, you had your AC, you had power, you know, all these little things that we take for granted. And all of a sudden, when they get taken away, all of a sudden it's like the hugest deal. And when you get a wake up call like that, it's like, hey, you know what? I have every reason in the world to be happy. And the thing is, as people, we tend to forget that a lot of times, you know, because as human beings, we always, you know, we'll never be satisfied, because once we accomplish one goal, we just want to accomplish the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. So that's why, excuse me, that's why it's impossible to literally have everything, because once you have accomplished that one goal that you set out to have, that one thing, you're going to want something else. So, you know, I think it's really good just for everybody just to take a step back, say, you know what, you know, I've got this, and thank God, because it really absolutely sucks when you lose it. And even though I didn't, I'm thankful I didn't, but even not having that for a few days, it kind of it's a reminder. It's a reminder, and it's a reminder from Mother Nature as well. So, and that's quite a reminder. Let me tell you that. So, so there's supposedly there's another one coming, Maria, but I don't know if it's gonna hit us directly. Only time will tell. But again, I'm still humbled by this, and it's a privilege to come up here and do YouTube, and to be able to do something like this or to play video games. And it's something that I think everybody can. I think we can all just take a step back and say, you know what? Yeah, let's be happy that we have what we have. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. I had to make this video, so I will be streaming later on tonight some Black Ops 2. So if you like, please stop by, say hello, talk to me, whatever. Could use the company. So and that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. And if you're from this area, or if you're from another area, or if you've experienced a hurricane or whatnot in your life, or even any kind of disaster or whatnot, let it be known down in the let it be down known in the comments section, and we can talk about it. Or I'll see you later on stream, hopefully. So anyway, guys, that's it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.